Counselors, thank you so much for being here. Good morning, students. Thanks so much for accepting our teachers and my invitation to join us today for the student panel. We decided to do a special event for counselors to celebrate our CTE month, which is in February. And I know our biggest reward as counselors and educators is to hear from the students and know that they're doing okay, right? So that they're in the right path. So thank you once again for being here. And we're going to be asking questions. We didn't receive many questions, so I believe you are all very curious about everything, right? So anything that the students have to share with us. But we put together a list of common curiosities that we all have about SBCT. And they are related to the enrollment process, how they enroll in our program, how we apply accommodations that some of the students might have, relationships that they make, the social aspect of SBCT, opportunity and resources that they get from SBCT and from their courses, and the leadership opportunities too. So a lot of our students participate either in the ambassador program or on Skills USA, HOSA, so they have a lot going on. And also, you like to hear what they're going to be doing next, right? So this is a pretty sweet opportunity to be here. So I think it's common for us, all of us, to have a good idea of what they have planned as the next steps. Even if they don't have a set idea, they do know what are the skills that they've acquired here and how they can apply them out there, right? And college application as well. We do have Ms. Coda here as our post-secondary transition specialist who does a wonderful job providing the students with different resources and events. We just had our college and career fair in 2 days last week. It was a great success. And also we are having Cash for College from CalSoap on March, so it's coming up. So it's gonna be, I have one slide only with announcements in the end. Welcome, Alana, come with you. We'll talk about those in a bit. But yeah, so those are mainly the questions that we have, but you're welcome also to, if you have any questions, if you think of any questions as we go, please raise your hand, okay? So, and feel free to jump in and let us know, and I can pass the mic around, okay? So for the first group of students, oh, big thanks here, big thanks to the culinary program. We didn't have a very fancy sit-down breakfast today, but we did have a big challenge for our advanced students. Miss Clark was sick, called out sick. She was very sick, and she couldn't come in. She was very upset, but she sent out instructions to our advanced culinary team. And they did it all. So they set up all of the continental breakfast and the room for you. So we are very proud of them. So thank you to the culinary students. We have a representative here, Leah, from the culinary student, for the culinary program. Yay! And we'll hear from Leah in a bit. And also, thanks so much to Winston Fan from the film and video production course, who is currently recording our session, and other counselors will be able to watch this. Thanks to Winston. Thanks so much, Winston. Winston is a senior at Silver Creek High School. So if you have questions for Winston also as we go, he said that he would be willing to answer the questions as well. Thank you. All right, so for group one, we have Brianna Juarez from San Jose. Brianna, please come on in and take a seat. She's from the Dental Assisting Program with Ms. Fleming. She's currently doing her internship, super excited, so she'll talk more about that. We have Vivian Lee, a senior from Mount Pleasant High School, fashion design and textile art. So please take note, all of the students were nominated by their teachers for their performance in class. And Ian Gentry from Fire Science, he's from Wilcox High School, he's a senior. You may clap, you may clap. We have Holly Burr, she's a senior from Pioneer High School, and she's in animation, was the first name that Mr. Whitman came up with. Like, oh yeah, Holly. Evelyn Garza Villarreal from Willow Glen High School, and Evelyn is from law enforcement. Is she here yet? No. I think that they're doing a special activity today, so but she wasn't sure if she could make it. She's not here. Okay. Ezekiel Madriz. Ezekiel is our junior from Auto Body Refinishing. After I put this list of students together, I realized, oh, we only have one junior in the group, but that's great. Ezekiel, you have to tell us how much you want to come back next year, yeah? All right, so Vance Smith from Piedmont High School, and he's in the HVAC class. Thank you so much for being here, students, so please take a seat. So you may take turns. I'm going to ask you questions, and you may take turn giving your answer. It doesn't need to be a super elaborated answer. Speak from the heart. Like I said yesterday, there's no right or wrong. Your answer is the perfect one, okay? Because we want to hear from you, okay? All right, so the first question that we have is why did you choose to come to SVCT? And we want to know if you participated in a shadow day or if you came visit SVCT on a tour. Go ahead, Brianna, you can start.
I chose SVCT because a lot of my friends from like the years before would talk to me about it, and they would talk to me about their experience coming here and the opportunities they had with their internship, and I really wanted like to get to do that and see what career I wanted. I've been in SVCT. I did it my junior year last year. I did pharmacy technician, and I'm doing dental assisting, and I'm on my second week of my internship, and so far I like it.
Thank you. And Vivian?
So for me, I chose to do SVCT because when I was in 8th grade, I actually did a tour here. And my first choice was going to be film and video, which I did a tour of. And I saw that it was definitely a community here, which I really enjoyed. And I thought was really sweet and nice and something that I want to be involved in for sure in high school. And I would have done it my junior year, but unfortunately I got waitlisted. So I didn't get into film and video. But now that I'm a senior, I decided to go ahead with fashion. And ultimately, the reason why I did SVCT was because going to a school, the same campus for 6 hours, 7 hours, staying after school really late sometimes was really draining and kind of overwhelming for me, as I think it is for a lot of students. And I'm sure as counselors, you guys can see that from us, that it's really tiring sometimes. So getting to get away from that and go to a different environment filled with people from a bunch of different schools and different spaces, different personalities, was really refreshing and kind of give me a chance to like recharge myself. And now that I'm here, I get to meet a bunch of different people, and it's been really nice and really sweet, and I feel like has overall made me become a better person. And now that I get to go to school, I'm even better in my academics because I get to come here and do something I enjoy and kind of take a break from like my school environment and that campus. So yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you, Vivian. Also, just a reminder, we do have tours for middle schools, right? So we have eighth graders coming over for tours. So if you want to talk to your counselors who work with your freshman students and coordinate those visits, you're welcome to do so. And we do have the summer exploration and extended learning that accept ninth graders, right? So that's something to consider. Thanks for sharing, Vivian. Ian, you're next.
So I was on the same boat as Vivian. By the end of my junior year, I found that I was very tired of staying at the same school for like 6 hours a day, 7 hours. So one of my high school counselors came into my English class and she presented the SVCTE to us. And I was really interested in it because I really didn't know what I wanted to do for a career. So I was looking through it and I saw fire science and it really caught my eye. So I was like, why not do it? So I did it and it's really provided me with a family and a lot of new friends from different schools. And it's also taught me a lot. And I didn't have a shadow tour or school tour. My counselor showed it to us.
Thank you. And Hallie?
So, I didn't have a shadow day or like tour, but my counselors would come to our class and they gave a presentation and animation was brought up and I was like, oh my gosh, I love doing art and it's been my passion since I was a little girl. I remember sitting with my dad and just watching him draw and my eyes would just light up at it. And now it's just kind of like I've always been doing like and taking art classes. And so I had a big problem with some art classes because usually the teacher would basically kind of judge you based on your artistic skills, which I didn't like. And so I was worried about that going into animation, but now that I'm in animation, everybody's so like inclusive, everybody's so kind, and the teacher, he doesn't care where you are. You can be at the beginning, and that would be fine. Everybody starts somewhere, and to be honest, that made me happy because it's like I've never been in an art class like that, and he judges you and grades you based off of how you take that assignment and how you use that and the technical key points of it. And so it's just a very inclusive and great environment for me, knowing that like everybody's starting somewhere and